Hey there, today I want to talk to you about the Hammerli Tac R1 22C. This is made by Hammerli Arms out of Fort Smith, Arkansas. It is a 22 caliber AR. It comes with a 20 round magazine. It comes with this stock and flip up sights. Since I've had it, I've added this Amazon Feyachi $40 sight. It's nothing to write home about. It's got some issues with reflection. In low light scenarios, it's not ideal, but hey, you know, it's 40 bucks and it is held zero. I've put about probably 3,500 to 4,000 rounds in this, and I've only had a very, very few issues with this thing, and it's in the latter half of this thing's service life thus far. I've had a couple of light strikes, and I just mean, and by a couple, I mean like a couple, and it's been usually ammunition based. Moving on. Let's go ahead from tip to butt, just like the Grand Thumb says. So from the tip, it's got a typical A2 flash hider. This is actually, you have to unscrew this to be able to take the whole barrel out, the whole barrel assembly. It's the disassembly of this thing is a little bit different than a normal AR. It's got a flip up sight here. This is my IR flashlight from Surefire that I had in Iraq. I've got a Strike Industries hand stop here. I've got a BCM QD mount, and then there's another QD mount. It comes with a QD mount here. I just happen to have this here because I forgot that it had that when I bought it, so I bought this. And anyways, there it is. I spray painted this thing because I used it so much, the paint started to get all scratched up, so I figured, you know what, might as well paint it. So I did. It's got a blue force gear Vickers sling on it. It's an adjustable sling. Sling works awesome. I use the ever-living crap out of this. I shoot this just about every single day, and I absolutely love it. One thing I will say, though, is that the trigger on this thing's stock was like an 8-pound trigger. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. I wanted to and I have been teaching my kids to shoot with it. And the last thing I want them to do is have to play the stupid game with a gun trying to get the trigger squared away. I'm pulling the takedown pin out so I can show you. There we go. You flip this open, and hopefully you guys can see this. So you flip this thing open, and you have to remove this thing right here. This is actually a whole trigger pack. If you are not comfortable doing things that are incredibly mechanical or relatively mechanical, just don't do it. I'm telling you, for your own sanity, don't do it. Because if you don't do it, and even if you do it right, you're going to have springs and all kinds of little doodads that come out of that thing, and they fall out of place, and they have to be put together absolutely perfectly. Otherwise, it's going to break. I wish they would have stuck with a metal design on this. This plastic design is not ideal, but it works. So we were able to finally get everything back together, and now I have a normal, I don't know, it's like a 5.5 pound trigger on this thing. Normal function here. You know, you can just pull the charging handle. The bolt latch release is notional. It doesn't actually lock the bolt to the rear. It's kind of there for show. The internal mechanisms of this thing, when you disassemble this, is actually different than a normal AR. You have to, like I mentioned before, you have to take the A2 flash hider and this piece right here, not just this, but this right here. You have to unscrew this, and then you can actually pull this entire assembly out. The entire barrel, this is just a sleeve. This entire barrel comes out. And then you can clean it and punch it and all that. And then the easiest way that I've found to actually punch the barrel is to put it back in the rifle and open it like this and run the bore snake through that. Mag release works just like a normal mag release does. Safety functions just like a normal safety would. Trigger, yeah. I have had very, very few issues with this, and like I said, I put 3,500 to 4,000 rounds through it. I shoot it just about every day, and I love this thing. Absolutely love it. Would highly recommend it to anybody who's looking for a backyard plinker or something to just get some training reps in with a like AR, like a one-to-one clone to your big AR that you use, because ammo's expensive, and this is a fantastic substitute for that. So If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. I'll answer them as soon as I can. Have a fantastic day, everyone.